Okay, it's time for some more Scotland. It's always time for some more Scotland. This is the Old Alliance reversed achievement. The goal is to vassalize France. That's exactly what we're going to try and do. Still, France are big and scary, even though we ripped them in half, and there's a good chance they're going to rip even more out of Burgundy, so we need to take care of that. So we will. Hopefully by getting Austria on our side. That would be nice. And we keep on exploring because colonization is the best, most involving aspect of the game. And I never tolerate my heretics, so let's drive up the revolt risk of Yorkshire if we can. Now, unfortunately, Austria just got themselves involved in another war, so they probably wouldn't be too keen on attacking France with me. Well, I haven't allied them yet, let's change that. Pushes us over our limit, but it's all for a good cause. I think we'll also get rid of our military axis in Burgundy, because if France forces Burgundy to annul their alliances with us, then that's going to hurt us in that regard. Okay, so Austria finds themselves at war with people that aren't really a threat to him. So it's not like Austria is going to lose a lot of their punching power. We'll be able to channel their forces into France. The trouble is Portugal will also get involved, and Portugal are probably going to do a number on whatever that province is, so let's move our ships away. That's right, we're putting a bit of thought into this for a change. We have all the claims on England we could want, but our truce with England ensures that we won't be doing anything about it for a while. And I don't think I can really fabricate many more claims on France, at least for provinces that I want. But that's okay, we have plenty of provinces that we'll be taking in the next war anyway. With a bit of luck, they won't be making much of a colonial empire that we would have to chase down. And oh yeah, Scottish slaves. Unfortunately, it seems that Granada have overcome their Castilian oppressors and carved out their own little empire. However, Castile have cores on them. They have about 5 years before they get eradicated once it... Wait, what? 15-year truce with Castile. And they got an alliance with my most hated enemy, Tunis. They're actually my rival. Not entirely sure why. Okay, not to worry. We should just ready up for this inevitable war with the France. And since we have a bit of money, it couldn't hurt to have a few more boats, I think. Jake, you defeated France twice yesterday, once in EU4 and a second time in Ao Oni. There's nothing scary about them now. Oh, Ao Oni. So last night I did a 2 Hours of Hell spooky stream special. And it was something. Don't want to say it was great, because it wasn't exactly the greatest thing known to man, but it was something. How to consider this war with France. Now, assuming that Austria don't get ravaged in their current war, they should be joining in no problem. And Castile, well, they hate France's guts, so once that truce wears off, they're going to be gone. Burgundy is an issue. They're not really worth having as an ally anymore, which is a shame. It is a crying shame. But they're not going to be useful for this upcoming war, since they'll have a truce. I just really hope that this province gets sieged down quickly, so that Gelra end their offensive war. Okay, all is well. Jake, what is the plan once France is your vassal? Oh, I have a plan. I've always got a plan. Some people probably know what that plan is, but they shouldn't spoil it. One plan that I should really be investing in is building up to force limit, because I don't think our 16 drinking buddies and a few family members are going to be enough to take down the France. Ah, glorious. Sadly, this province got double converted. And we won't be able to convert it back anytime soon. But what you gonna do? There's also this concern about the rest of our English provinces. It's tempting to lower autonomy, but it's also nice not to have to worry about revolts for a change. Now, I built all these boats. What exactly did I build them for? Because I've already forgotten. Jake, maybe you should invest in some heavies. Nah. I don't want to waste money like that. It would actually be a very wise idea for me to invest in some heavies and simply mothball them whilst at peace. But whoever wants to play the easy way. Now, Toulouse. I should consider keeping you in my good books. And Austria's already in our good enough books, frankly. And what was I even thinking? Something about trade, probably. The English Channel would be a great source of wealth for me if I would just move my capital down here. Kinda want it on London. But the important thing is just to get it down to the English Channel at some point so I can make that $1. Nah, I'll wait for London. Just show me the money. But also go almost at war. We're not desperate for that PP, so we're okay in that regard. And our manpower is, for once in our life, looking okay, so... Consider when our truce ends, which is in about a year. Okay, so we need those troops now. That should do. Is England a one-war job? Yes, but I wouldn't one-war job them since they are over 100% overextended. Whoa, I didn't realise that was there. Cool. We've got Stonehenge in Wessex. It's the little things, isn't it? You can enjoy a game, but you see the little things, and those are what really, really make you go, no. Well, at least it does for me. I'm having that extra colonist, just what we kind of need. And religious revolt in Fife is always something I enjoy, because I get religious people of my faith, and I go to them and I say, you know what, I completely agree with what you say. And then I lose tolerance of heretics and heathens, I don't care, and it gives me a little bit of strength that I could use to convert Yorkshire, but it's not enough unless I have an advisor as well, which I do not. Kinda tempted to get rid of you since you're not really helping. I'd rather output a trade efficiency. However, the range is nice, but no, I want the shekels. I always want the shekels. Please fall. I really need Burgundy to not lose land to France right now. Because if France gets bigger, it just means more wars to take care of them. Multiple missionary would still take forever to deal with Yorkshire, so I'm not even going to bother with that. Now, the question of France still remains. Portugal will join in, but Portugal have practically no troops there, and I don't really care what they do here. Also, there is still exploration to be done. I would like to know a bit about the Panama, but maybe not right now. The thing is, none of this is particularly useful. Where is that? Good enough. Jake, is it time for some cannons? Absolutely not. Yeah, that's some mighty amounts of red text right there. We should probably, again, focus on the south, since I imagine France would love to siege this up instead, so what we'll do is we'll keep our troops over here so we can simply march south when they come for us. And they will come for us. And no, I'm not going to keep England around as a vassal. I'm going to eradicate England completely. That's only fair. We're paying a little bit over the odds for military leaders, but that is also okay. And at the end of February, this whole truce malarkey will be up. Burgundy has rivaled me. And did Burgundy lose anything? Of course not. Good going, Burgundy. That means France is still a 6-war job. Might as well start one of them. Yeah, they made themselves a pretty meaty bunch of alliances. And Austria is a little preoccupied, but that's okay. It's all okay. I imagine the Hansa are going to be a pain in the rear again and land troops on us. And I see that France has very little in way of assistance for us down here. I wonder if there's anyone else that hates France who would love to join in. You cannot bring too much in a war against France. It's just actually not possible. Well, let's just do it. Castile and Austria will join in, however I doubt either will help us much initially. Excuse me. Oh, look, a ton of Frenchmen. But that's alright, if they simply siege up all of Castile's land here, then that's something that I don't particularly have to worry about, although maybe having my fleet right there is not the greatest idea. At least we have Aragon backing us up, and Castile. Nobody has Tech 12, which is the big one, although Castile have Tech 11, which is pretty amazing, actually. Pretty damn good. I don't really have the money for this. And you know my stance on stability. Still, paying money for stability isn't something I can get behind. Or rather, the other way around. So it'll be interesting to see if this works out for us. Toulouse doing God's work, I suppose. The navy situation's still in their favour, but all those heavies probably belong to Portugal. Yep. A little bit to the Hansa. But I have faith in our... Oh, actually, we're outnumbered. Should be entertaining. That's a French army, and they're force marching their way over here. Well, if I'm going to be anywhere, I'm going to be in the hills. I wouldn't be surprised if they still came for me, but I'm probably wanting to reinforce Languedoc instead. It'll be fine. Holy smokes! That army. I want nothing to do with that army. They would probably go from Toulouse to Bern, but they don't even have a general. Still, they are French. That means they would last forever. They also prestige me. And I can't really afford much. Well, something about discretion and valor. But he's actually force marching his way into the mountains of Navarra. It's not a river crossing into Navarra, but it's still a -2 for you. And you're all infantry. Aragon would likely back us up. It's a good chance to try and take out the French. I kind of wish I could afford you, but I'm not allowing myself some loans just for that. 5 fire, though, makes me feel a bit bad. Probably better to have the 3 shock. Changed his mind on that pretty quick. But I feel we could fight in the mountains. Unfortunately, I have a full backing of cannon, but fortunately cannons are still fairly worthless. Don't want to Don't want to throw everything into that battle just yet, though. We'll see what happens when I start taking the front line. And then when you're in the front line, we'll back you up further. Poland gunning for Denmark. Is that going to affect us in any way? No, Denmark's only allied with Norway. Sure enough, the Hands are on our doorstep. When aren't they? It seems that Aragon are keen to make their mark on the seas. Maybe they'll even go for the French Navy. Excellent. Okay, but this battle isn't going so excellent because they're even reinforcing further now. Could it be that I underestimated the power of their cannons? Never. I won't abide by that. France have turned around and thrown everything they can. Whoa, okay, that's not where I wanted to retreat to. Not at all. And that was the death of Gilchrist. Okay, so I'm currently in a position where I desperately don't want to be. We lost a chunk of manpower and it's going to cost us to reinforce. That's okay, that's what war taxes exist for. But now what? Now what indeed? We should take advantage of our naval, I'm not going to say superiority, but our at least safety here, actually. Opportunity to get 10 to 1s, always worth it. Never not worth it. Now it's a succession war. You've got quite a lot of war score, so you should be able to get that one done quite nicely. Baden also helps out. But we are going to need the bulk of your troops to help us here, or else we are a little boned. Now, one issue is that Portugal are bringing in quite a bit to all this. So, I don't think Castile is going to be all that happy about fighting Portugal. They are probably still friendly. Friendly and friendly. However, Portugal don't really have troops here. And I could probably get them out of the war somewhat quickly if I just invest a little in fighting them. And get ourselves over to the wonderful supportive land of Galicia, although part of me wants to destroy the Hanseatic troops that are besieging my land, but that's not really a big deal. There's plenty of land for them to siege, and we have the added fort defense. Although there is a bit of a concern with all these French coming down and doing nasty things to Iberia. So maybe if I do make my move on Portugal, they're just going to come and ruin my day. Okay, so Austria managed to piece out of that other war. They now have Hungary not in union? Just... Oh, Austria and Wallachia forms the union. Okay. Well, it doesn't pull them in anyway, but now Austria have a good chunk of units to throw at France. Which is excellent news for us. Let's keep those relations pretty good with you. And since France seem to be dedicating at least a little bit over here... Oh my. Should I help them? It's not like they even have a general. Hold steady, my friends of Castile. Ulster, not worth my time. Show them the Scottish shocking power. And drive those French out of Iberia. It's for the good of our nation. Which I don't really think is an incentive for Scots. Like I said, I do really want Portugal out of this war because their naval prowess... Okay, well, it's in the wrong place. I don't think that's either here nor there. So, what do? Well, we do what we do best, which is utterly and somewhat uselessly carpet the nation. Not going to be enough to get them out of the war in a hurry, but at least it's something. And unlike our carpeting of England, we're actually making some progress here. Get the discipline advisor, Jake. You can afford him. The finances are a little too tight to be considering what I can simply afford. Alright, Austria is making inroads at the north, but they are... oh good, they are really building up. Blumenanza. That's alright, they'll get their just desserts, but we need to make inroads on the Portuguese first. I really shouldn't be sieging up with more than I need to, because it's giving me undue attrition. But I also kind of want that Siege 2 on the case. We'll throw one unit over here just in case they drop that. And we'll get Mr. Playfair over on Lisboa. Fortunately, there aren't really any winters down here, so we should be a-okay. You're paying for an advisor anyway. Yeah, but I'd have to switch them out, and I mean, that fort defense is probably going to be pretty handy right now. And it's not like I'm doing the bulk of the fighting, that's what these guys are here for. Show them what's for, Austria. Who's the good money on here? Probably still France. Oh, Savoy entered an alliance here. That's not so good. They'll probably join... Oh, they already did join in. Wait, weren't they already in this war? Yeah, they were. So why... Why? Is simply the question. Okay, but we should be able to get Portugal out of this war fairly soon if these sieges just go well and uninterrupted, which will be a rather large blow to their coalition. And this war is useful because it gives me ample opportunity to seize the Cape if Portugal decide that they want to stick their greasy little Iberian fingers into it. It's also kind of tempting to use that second colonist, but again, finances are a little tight. And do I really need Luanda? The answer there is no. I do not need Luanda. Will you give Austria anything in this war? It's unlikely, but if they have claim... Well, they're not going to have claims in this situation, heavens no. So no, I don't think we'll give Austria anything. Plus, it wouldn't really be coreable unless I give them Languedoc, and Languedoc is going to my vassal. Okay, so things are getting pretty beastly in the centre of France, but that's good. All the major powers are pretty much destroying themselves here. All for my sake, as they should. Really don't want to be sieging with more than necessary because attrition is unsightly. Funny, I throw myself into these situations where I am definitely fighting stupidly, but that just kind of makes it more enjoyable. Alright, as these all fall, that's good news. It'll get Portugal really rather likely to come out of this. And bless them, they still want an alliance. I'll likely take war reparations from them and probably give a province to Castile to avoid their future alliances. But that's if we can secure all of this land off of them. It's not like I want Portuguese overseas territory, unless it's the Cape. I missed that advisor already. Oh my. Yeah, I mean, look at all these Portuguese that we don't want. Oh, all 1,000 of them, if even that. Forget that then. My troops are missing out on the glory, but we're also missing out on the reduced manpower, so again, forget that. Alright, Lisboa's down, Porto's down. Heck, I could be making good money if I threw my trader over here. It hasn't calculated it for the turn of the month, but hold on, where are my merchants and how much money are they making me? North Sea and English Channel. The North Sea guy doesn't give me that much, so get over there, North Sea guy. Holy smokes, that's going to be money. Not entirely sure if it's going to be... I mean, check that. Check the money I'm going to be making when I send a trader here. Maybe I don't want Portugal pieced out. It's not like they're throwing that many units into all this. And where are the Portuguese? Nowhere that matters, that's where. Turning the tide here. Man, I feel like Yuan Shao at my own version of Guandu. The tide of this battle is turning in our favour. Now is the time to march on Cao Cao's main camp. All units forward. Bloody Hansa, that's it. You're getting out of my country. You embarrass me long enough. The Hanseatics, there's the slightest chance. No, their tech is dreadful. And the dosh we make from Sevilla? 3 ducats. Not to be sniffed at this stage. I'm going to feel for the losses we're going to take, both financially and in terms of men when we fight the Hansa, but them owning that rightful Scottish clay is just intolerable. Their general's garbage and Lincoln is farmlands. And they have no maneuver, whereas we have 2. We got this one in the bag. I'm sorry, Hansa, it was always too late for you. Let's consider this one for half a minute. They're going to have a front line of 15, our front line is 20. Actually, let's just go for it and see how our armies actually manage here. Pretty well. That's how I'd want them. Paying attention to how the army is lined up here, I don't have any influence on it other than sending my troops at different times. But I'm still gathering data on that. What was my ka-chink of money there? Did I just take this? I'll assume I just took that. Wow, they're still holding on. Okay, so we managed to secure this. Nobody else wants the Cape. Well, I certainly do. Again, I've got caps lock on. Maybe I should make it so that caps lock doesn't do that. I would love to get more land around here, but I should probably just go for as much as I can reach. And now I miss that that guy that makes me go further.